right, welcome to Raising Funds for World Domination, day number 328. So there are no updates on any of these items today. And we'll jump right into continuing with work on the terminal block mining simulation game. So the recent focus has been on getting some unit tests for the chunk loading and unloading, the chunk loading and unloading class. I guess I spent at least the last 20 days or so. I've been working on that. The approach I was using wasn't really working, so I've decided to make some changes to my approach. And now I'm going to basically just make the mock client implement like a state machine. And some of the unit tests will check for to make sure there's no unexpected transitions. So that'll be the basis for starting the unit testing. Orthoplex 64, how's it going? Thank you for the heart. Would you ever consider using Cursor or Claude Code? I would consider it. It's still on my to-do list, but I have like a short list of like video ideas and things to work on, and I had been thinking of bumping that out. Actually, I tried a few times. You can ask AI to do coding stuff for you. Sorry, on GitHub you can there's that like icon you can click on GitHub. So I go to like just to see what the state of the art is. I go to the GitHub profile for this project and I click on that icon. And for a while I was thinking it was just using what is it called? Copilot. But then when I was looking the last time I looked at it, I guess you can select the model, and I think technically I already have tried Claude Code because I asked it a couple things, but I haven't played around with it much because whenever I ask it something like complicated, the result is just so bad that I'm like, I'm not gonna really think much more about it. And the main thing that kept me away in the past was I think the plugins were all terrible and they didn't work. So I thought I'll just wait a few months until they get better. I assume it's getting better now. But yeah, it's on the to-do list to actually sit down and make a more detailed video on it. GitHub or Microsoft Copilot. Honestly, complicated stuff. Don't even try to use base model. I use Opus 4.6 or Codex 5.4. Yeah, I think I can't remember the list of all the different models, but I tried the default that it was on was I think Claude Code, or I think it was called Claude. I don't keep track of all the different models. He's the guy with 50 favorite Linux commands who popped up in my FIP. Actually, my favorite Linux command series, I think there's over 100 commands in that series. There's 108 core utils commands. I did all of those. Plus I did a couple other, I was thinking about doing other packages, like there's the proccpng or something, which is the one with like the ps command and top and stuff, but haven't gotten there. Need to get scrolling. Yep, you can check out my playlist and watch all of them. It'll take you 2 hours. Nice. We got a super chat for $10. I guess that's probably from Zoella Bolkia. Thank you very much. I will add that to the World Domination Fund. Love your silicon video, by the way. Also, I relate so much to your experience in tech SF, seeing people stay, big tech. Oh, thanks. I was kind of hoping as the channel grew, there would be more. I would get more. I don't know, interest in from people who kind of related to the many issues with the tech industry. My last couple of videos about I guess they're pretty different from my other content, but they didn't get too many views. I thought about my philosophizing about just a better. We need to be thinking more about a better future. It's very hard to find people. Like lots of people would tell you how things are broken today, but there's not many people giving any vision for the future. That's positive. When you say the silicon video, which silicon video do you mean? I have a few videos that I made like specifically on silicon. Is it the tier list one? When you grew silicon from scratch? The how to make a CPU one, the 20 million view one. If you like silicon videos, I have a few other silicon videos, but they only have a fraction of the view count. Shoseki says, good evening. How's it going? Very well, excellent. How's the block mining game going? I'm still grinding away at this unit test. It's one of those. It's one of those things that has to work correctly, but it's also it's very it's not like a fun thing to work on, which I guess has actually been like one of the takeaways from this series has been having like a forced hour to grind away at something every day. It is a good way to like grind through development tasks that you really don't want to do, because it seems like a lot of work at the beginning, but then even though you like make almost no progress every hour, but doing it a bit every day, the fact that like you do it every day, it's easier to jump back into it. My favorite video is the terminal dating app. Yeah, I figured that'd be popular. Maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll have to have a dating component in the block mining game. I don't think I could work on something for an hour a day. Thinking about it in my free time. Actually, I think that is one benefit of this, is like that's actually, I think, a good thing. Like, because I only work on it and I get interrupted, there have been a few days where like I actually think about it in the shower, or like I'm like, oh man, I want to get back to that and like fix that thing. And there's been a few times where I've thought about the problem and then realized, like, wait a minute, I could just do this one line fix and then I can move on to the next thing. I think like I thought about it like in my REM sleep before I woke up, and then when I woke up, I'm like, yes, I know how I'm gonna implement that. Ever heard of the power of the subconscious and problem solving? Yeah, I wouldn't even really call it subconscious so much. It's kind of just like when I get interrupted, then it's like the thing that if I'm not doing something else, my brain just meditates on it. When I'm thinking and planning what I'm going to do during the day. So it is conscious. Okay, this should be a better, more robust way of handling this. Only ever written unit tests like this once. Didn't enjoy it. This is not too bad. This is a bit easier for me to wrap my mind around. What I had before was that was a nightmare. But I guess one thing I'm stuck on, or not necessarily stuck, I need to think about is I'm gonna need a way I'll just I'll just pick a random requested chunk and signal that that's available. Wrote some unit tests for my last job once. I thought this feels pointless, but I'm going to find one bug with it. Now look at me going. And I was right. I really like, often I find I don't write unit tests. There's a cost to writing unit tests. Like, unit tests are great to have, but they take time to write correctly. And I find the best ones, for me, kind of just become like borderline like fuzz tests, like the tests that I have in this thing for the layer merging. I think those are very good because when I'm like performance tuning that algorithm, and when I was reducing that, it was really great. I could do these like really large sweeping refactors that would like delete 100 lines of complexity. and then just run it against the unit test, and then I can kind of turn my brain off and just like try deleting massive pieces of code. And if the unit tests pass, they're so thorough that I can be confident it's going to work. I think my substitute, often when I'm trying to go faster, I use, like, instead of test-driven development, I call it assertion failure-driven development. Just add like a whole bunch of, like, every time you have a case structure, like it's like the way I write a lot of code, I try to have an if branch for the cases I expect, and then always make sure, like, even if I'm really confident this never happens, always have an else branch, or like the default branch with the exception, because that and like everything that should be test every like precondition and postcondition, everything that should not be true, make sure that that's not true, and everything that should be true, make sure it is true. And that's kind of like it's almost like your unit tests are baked right into the code branches. That's a good place to start, I find. I learned a Linux command from you that allowed me to automate a task that required a choice and a yes or no confirmation. This was the yes command. Excellent. Now you can be much more efficient. A lot of commands also have a -y flag. So I guess in practice, it's not that useful. I guess there probably are a handful of applications. You often see the yes command in scripts, and I guess you can also pass like an argument to the. I should have actually had that. I didn't mention that in the video, that you can pass a custom string. So for other applications, that can be, if it requires something other than y. Yes, can agree. His command video was a nice find. Yeah, it's one of the, I think of all the favorite Linux command videos, I think it's one of the top ones. Which is kind of random. It's not really that useful, to be honest. I barely ever use it. I think I've seen it a few times in the wild in scripts. Someone would just pipe it into a command. But it was, in those cases, it was also a command that you could just do -y. Interesting. Chunk becomes pending, but it's already pending. Schwai was familiar. It was the part about piping that was new to me. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I guess there's I'm so focused down in the weeds of some of these things that there's certain like basic things I forget that that you have to explain. That was what caught me up about teaching. The frustrating thing about teaching is that when you teach, if you teach one class, like a bunch of stuff for the first time, the next year, the new class that you have doesn't remember the things that you taught in the last class. So you have to teach the same thing over and over again. And there's always a new group of young people coming in who have never heard of Git before. I'm always really surprised to learn that Git exists. Because then they just copy their files around on a USB drive. Good practice come from experience. Yeah, when you teach a concept a few times, it definitely burns it into your mind. Okay. Ideally, I'd kind of like my exception to be down here. I'll put this in a function. How do you manage burnout? I guess I don't. I just burn out. Because I guess from burnout manifests in different ways. I find my kind of burnout mechanism of burnout is more like I actually don't really. I'm like when I get really, my mind is really kind of fried. It's not that I can't work on stuff. I end up working harder, but I end up working on increasingly irrelevant things and spending more time on them. So I guess it's necessary to back up every once in a while and reassess priorities. All right, that's better. That gives me some immediate feedback as soon as it fails. What size are the chunks? Or is it variable? I think I have it actually randomized in the test. What's out here? So in general, I kind of make it so it should be configurable. Yeah, I guess right now it's set to chunk size, cuboid address. Okay, I guess right now it's fixed, but I could just change that to be random. In fact, I probably will eventually, but oh, I think I made it smaller. I think I had it random, but then I made it smaller to when I was unit testing, when I was trying to pin down the failure case or something. Ayan Asan says, "Hey, how's it going?" So let's put some more debug statements in this. Thanks for the recommendation of Caravan Palace. Lone Digger. Actually, it was someone who came into chat and really and strongly requested that I watch it. I forgot that I even mentioned that. I can't remember if it was if I recommended it to you or if it was the other person in chat. Honestly, I listened to that a few times. It's one of the songs I listen to just because it came up a lot, and I click on it, but then I totally forgot about it. It looks like, I guess the algorithm is good at concentrating people of the same taste in music. So I guess this is getting a signal about a chunk becoming pending twice. So is this even a bug? what's what's first thing I should learn if I want to hack? There's many things to learn. I guess you can just Google it or look on YouTube. It depends what your level of expertise is. I guess if you're just in high school, like the interesting stuff is probably if you search on YouTube for like cybersecurity or like pen testing. That's kind of the entry point if you want to do so-called hacking. It also helps to get a degree in software engineering and know how software is constructed, because that way you know how you can break it. How long have you been working on this project? I guess probably a couple of years now. Although it's kind of hard to quantify because working 1 hour a day is not exactly. Development goes pretty slow. One person working 1 hour a day. But yeah, probably. I guess a first bit of code probably a bit more than a couple of years ago. When is World Domination Day? It's pretty soon. I just need to raise a little bit more money. It's all about the financing. It could be here sooner with a small loan of $1 million. It looks like that's broken. Or is it? Oh, there we go. Okay, that broke it completely. Let's see what that does in the test. Oh, interesting. That made the test work. I guess it might not be doing anything now. What are my print statements? Not doing TDD at the moment. Things are a bit broken. Clearly need better engineering. You can always go for assertion failure driven development, like I mentioned before. Just start adding assertions everywhere. Start thinking about things that should not be true. Just add a bunch of assertions. And then if your assertions trip, then you know where the bug is. Literally haven't written a line of code. Oh, I haven't written a line of the code you're developing? Yeah, that's always difficult when you're working on someone else's project. Or even worse, when you take over someone else's incomplete project. Oh, vibe coding. Just being lazy. I'd be curious to see, one of the things I want to, when I dive into actual vibe coding, is seeing like how well you could use an AI to build a unit test as well. Because in my experience, you can use good unit tests as like a pivot point. So you can build out the application, then build out the unit tests to test that the application does what it's supposed to. And you can, like, once you have good unit tests, you can make more aggressive changes to the application and just kind of pivot back and forth. And then, like, normally you don't think of it this way, but you can also kind of use the application as a unit test for the unit tests. So if you don't change the application and it does things correctly, and the add new, like if you're sure that the application's working, if it has the behavior you want, and then you write a unit test and the unit test fails, that means the bug is in the unit test. something kind of weird in the test. It doesn't look like it's actually running through many of the transitions. It looks like it's only running through the becomes pending event. Let's see if the required region's changed. It should get a discard request, which here would remove it. But it looks like that does not happen. So I guess maybe that's a first bug to look into. All right, I guess I'll probably call it a night there. I did my hour. It's probably too late to start debugging that. I'll start looking into that. I guess probably time to look into this tomorrow, but during the day. But for next stream, I'll look into what's going on with that. So if it's getting discarded, there should be a log message saying it's getting discarded, but clearly there's not. So I'll have to add more debug output to figure out what's going on as it changes as the currently active chunk region changes. All right, that'll be it for tonight. We'll be back again tomorrow night for day 329. All right, have a good night.